My name is Destin Russell, and this is my Big Five, the TIPI and IPIP evaluation. So, go through each of the traits. So, for neuroticism or emotional stability, so this is basically how easily someone gets stressed or anxious or is emotionally thrown off and can be stuck in like a negative loop. So, on the TIPI, I scored a 6 out of a 7. And then on the IPIP, I scored pretty well, 49 out of 120, or the average out of 5 was 2.04. I think this does fit me pretty well, so I don't really respond too negatively to stress and can kind of stay calm under pressure. I think a lot of that's like my years in the military, and I think this is something that I can leverage just because, school or long term goals or like relationship things, I can stay calm and operate. So the next one is extroversion. This is like your social energy or like being talkative, assertive, energized around people. Low extroversion would be more like a reserved or quiet person. So on the TIPI, I scored moderately high. It was about a 4.5 out of 7. And then the IPIP, I was 74 out of 120 or 3.08 out of 5. I think this is probably a good place for me. I would say I'm pretty friendly and like to be around other people, but it's kind of like something I can turn on and off. It's not like I need to be the center of attention. It's just like I do kind of be energized in social settings, but I don't have to be there per se. And then I would say this is another one that I could leverage by kind of like leaning into it in a leadership sense. It's like I have been a leader in the military, so it's like you do need a certain level of extroversion, or at least kind of talkativeness, assertiveness, being able to be outgoing and talk in front of people. So the next one is openness to experience. So this is just like curiosity, creativity, interest, imagination, comfort with complexity. So on the TIPI, I also scored moderately high. I was a 4.5 out of 7. And my openness on the IPIP was 83 out of 120. It's pretty high, or so that comes out to about 3.5 out of 5. So I do think this fits me pretty well. It's like I seem to think in kind of like mechanism is where my interests lie. I'm a natural science major, and I seem to get the most satisfaction out of learning like the layers of how things work. Like I'm not very happy if you just tell me X happens because of Y. I'm gonna want to know all the steps in between to get to Y. So I do think this also obviously is another being high in this is something that I can leverage because I plan to leverage this and pursue research and kind of grad school opportunities that would put me in jobs or scenarios where having that critical thinking or mechanism type of understanding would be rewarded. So then the next one is agreeableness. So this is kind of like your warmth, empathy, cooperation, trust, not being hostile. So on the TIPI, I was also pretty high in this one, 5 out of 7. And then on the IPIP, I was 78 out of 20. So it's like my next highest one. That's 3.25 out of 5. I also think this feels pretty accurate for me. I'm kind of like been described as like a direct but like pretty loyal person. Like I seem to have a sense of like fairness and stuff like that I tried to apply even with like my subordinates and stuff like that when I was in the military. I don't do well with like fake nice type of people. So I also think this is another one that I can leverage just because like I can work in teams. I kind of value the morale and stuff of the team. I'm not good at letting like one person run over it or stuff like that. I want to make sure everyone's being heard. And I do kind of have a directness though. Sometimes I think that like my Midwest mentality that can come off as being kind of harsh. So I do have to think about that when I'm talking, right? Working in groups. So, and then the last one is conscientiousness. Struggle with that word. So this is like your discipline, your organization, follow through, reliability, self-control. So in the TIPI, I was highest in this one too, about 5 out of 7. And then on the IPIP. I was 73 out of 120, which come out to about right around 3. The IPIP was interesting for this one because I kind of had variation in the different areas where I kind of have a high dutifulness and cautiousness, but I do kind of have lower self-discipline and specifically like task initiation. Like I've actually found that like without like a due date looming or some type of other pressure variable, that I'm not one that's going to start like an assignment early for some reason. Like I try, it feels like procrastination, but at this point I've just kind of accepted it. So obviously sometimes I can procrastinate. Also not a naturally tidy person. Like I try to work hard at it. It's just not something that I guess comes naturally to me. So I do think this is also something I can leverage. I guess based off that, I can operate under pressure and under a deadline. It seems to focus my thoughts a little bit more. So yeah, I'm coming up on 6 minutes. So, and that's my Big 5 video. Thank you.